perception. You can call it what comes from doing this sort of thing on a repetitive basis, but as you look eyeball to eyeball at your audience, you can sense whether or not they're going to be receptive to those ideas and philosophies that you're attempting to communicate. There has never been another you. There is not now another you. There will never, ever be another you. When you go to bed at night, sort of half awake, half asleep, kind of in that twilight zone, question, who but you can hear the music that goes on inside of you? Who but you can hear your hopes, your dreams, your frustrations? Is there anybody, or are there any ears who can hear that? I don't know what this means to you, but to me it simply means this, that each of us can make our own special contribution to what we're doing, the life of the world. We can if we have but a spark of desire within us. It does boil down to that, you know. Desire accepts no such word as impossible. Desire breeds determination. Desire is the thing that is responsible for average people doing above average things. And the consultant to the president. I'm glad to have you aboard.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. I do appreciate your coming here this morning, and I do have to stay on the school board. I believe that you're aware, sent out waving.
3 or 4 children in each car and go up and down all the streets from here back down to the school, because everybody in this part of the neighborhood knew Jackie. This was her.
anything else.
Doing a little sheriff's, of course.
Well, I hope that I can use my head a bit more. Well, I shouldn't say more than the other guys, but I have to make up for it by trying to think a bit quicker than the other guys, perhaps. The size definitely has a factor on my play because I'm not able to hit the guys like the other defensemen can, of course. So I have to use my stick more, and I have to use my head more.
You have played back and up front both. Which do you prefer?
I prefer defense. I haven't played up since I was about 10 years old, so I really don't know what I'm doing when I'm up there to a large degree, so I really prefer playing back. I'm used to it.
Does a lack of size, would it bother you more on defense than on offense? It seems that it would.
Yeah, on defense it bothers me more because I have to try and be more aggressive in front of our net. I have to try and push the other large fellows out of the way and so on, and I have to use my body more on defense than I would on forward, so it therefore has a greater effect.
I've noticed that you're one of the few Blackhawks that wears a helmet. Why?
I've worn a helmet since I was 10 years old, and I see really no reason to quit while I'm up in pro. I think it's probably a smarter thing to do. You can possibly get a head injury and so on. So I feel a lot safer out there, and I feel better with it. I'm used to it.
One never ends a career as such. A career is a continuing experience, and I have been quite rewarded by serving on the Board of Education and in other government-related responsibilities. I would see a continuation of being concerned with government operations at every level, local, state, and national.
When the Central Library was opened at the corner of Commerce and Harwood back in 1955, it was considered one of the finest of its kind. There was plenty of room then, but now there's not. According to library officials, the facility has become a victim of two things: the growth of Dallas and the knowledge explosion. The Central Library now is used by between 2,000 and 3,000 people each day, and that figure is expected to double every 10 years. The facility also is the major research library in the Dallas system, and officials say with the volume of information printed these days, the library simply has run out of space. Dick Waters is chief of the Central Library. He pointed out for me the crowded conditions and said an expansion of the present facility would not be the answer, since the structure could only support 2 more floors. According to Waters, this would not be enough additional space. He feels the only solution is a new downtown library, which he said would help make Dallas a better place in which to live.
We feel that the continued growth of Dallas as a good place to live is dependent upon a new central library. Without a new central library, this growth will certainly be slowed because a library offers to all citizens an opportunity to improve their life in many different ways.
All this talk about the need for a new central library has another aspect which has been overlooked by many people. Library spokesmen point out that the opening of the regional airport will create an additional strain on the facilities here, since they say Dallas will then become a truly international city. But they say a new central library would be a solution, since it also could serve as a translation center for foreign languages. Jack Hill, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Jackie Hensley had been told to take it easy ever since she had a valve replaced in her heart at Children's Hospital. But she was too active a person for that, and now she's gone. Family members, neighbors, and maybe above all, some 60 of her classmates at Mesquite's John L. Hanby Elementary School pitched in today to collect funeral expenses. The effort, led by a family friend, Mrs. Tom Jones, became necessary when a Mesquite funeral home declined to prepare the body before at least half the bill had been paid in advance. You see, Jackie had been uninsurable since her open-heart surgery at the age of 8. After the door-to-door appeal got underway, I went inside the McCraw home and talked with Jackie's mother.
They're wonderful. Jackie had so many friends. And she was always doing something for someone, and they all loved her. I know. You can see that by as many as it comes around and everything. We've had millions of people call and offer to help and everything, just all over Mesquite.
I know you want to take her to Oklahoma to put her to rest. What is this all going to cost you?
Well, they said here about $1,250, I think, and up there, I don't know exactly, but it's probably around $400 up there. That's what it cost me to take her father, up there. So I figured the same thing.
Come on, Drusy.
How about this, Drusy?
Oh, gee, I like that.
You like that, Drusy? You like that hat? Let's put the hat on.
Let's try it on.
Yeah, that looks
Oh, my. That feels good.
Yeah.
Okay, Drusy, come on.
And now, here's the shawl to complete your wardrobe, Drusy.
Here, let's put this on. Put your arm through there. Okay.
Ah, isn't that pretty?
Put
Gee,
your arm through there.
I like that.
Face the camera when she
Boy,
gets
will
on.
that ever keep me warm.
Okay, let's button up one button, okay? Okay, kid.
What do you think about the label in there, Drusy?
Sanger Harris, is that a good brand?
Now, Drusy, we've completed your wardrobe. Is there anything else you can think of that you might need?
Well, Bob, I really was thinking about, I need a razor for my legs.
Mm-hmm.
I sure need to get a wig, because I can't do a thing with my hair.
And by the way, Drusy, what caused you to come down here and start looking for a wardrobe? I didn't know you wore clothes.
Well, my little tail got so cold in this weather, and I thought maybe it might snow, so I'd better try to cover up a little bit.
Thank you for allowing us to come along, and thank you for interviewing us, Drusy.
This is Drusy, shopping with Bob Gooding at the Six Flags Mall for Channel 8 News, on the move.
Woo!
Woo!
The principal item of business in the Senate was the drawing of lots to see who has to stand for re-election in 2 years and who gets to wait 4 years. From Dallas County, Senator Oscar Mozzie drew a 2-year term, but the other three, Brackline, Clower, and Harris, all got 4-year terms. From Tarrant County, both senators, Betty Andujar and Bill Meyer, drew 2-year terms. The other major item of interest here today was an address by Governor Preston Smith to the legislature. Governor Smith's reports were long-range, idealistic proposals for such things as urban planning, mass transit, water resource development, pollution control, resources protection, and so on. Things he says are important for the legislature to look into, although he won't be around except another 5 days. He also proposed a $10 billion budget for the state for the next 2 years, including a $300 million surplus. He says it can be done without a tax increase, although that budget estimate is $900 million more than the Legislative Budget Board or anyone else thinks will be available for the next 2 years. But then again, Governor Smith is not going to be around to have to try to make it a reality.
With the Department of Defense.